Welcome to Neuroscience Unplugged, where science and soul meet. This channel is about understanding yourself through both neuroscience and intuition, exploring how your brain, body, and energy work together to create your lived experience. Every meditation, podcast, reflection, and card reading here is designed to help you regulate your nervous system, rewire old patterns, and awaken the deeper intelligence within you. You'll often hear me speak about things like the vagus nerve, neuroplasticity, or the prefrontal cortex, not as abstract science, but as living pathways that influence how you think, feel, and connect. We also use oracle cards, intuitive tools, rich in image and archetype. These symbols speak the language of your unconscious mind, the same symbolic realm Carl Jung explored when he described archetypes in the collective unconscious. When we bring neuroscience and oracle cards together, we're blending two ways of knowing. For example, the symbol engages your emotional and intuitive brain. The reflection activates your reasoning and meaning-making regions like the prefrontal cortex. And the integration of both creates new neural connections. This is neuroplasticity in action. In other words, when you work with symbolic imagery and mindful awareness, you're literally reshaping your brain's relationship to emotion, perception, and possibility. So these reflections aren't just metaphors, they're small neural recalibrations. Whether you're here to heal, to grow, or simply to reconnect with your inner stillness, this space is for you. Today's reading uses 3 decks: Magic of You Oracle by Fiona Horn, Gateway of Light Activation by Kyle Gray, The Healing Waters Oracle by Rebecca Campbell. Each group of cards forms a neural and energetic theme for the week ahead. Take a slow breath in, feel your body arrive, and let's begin. If you chose Group 1, which is of course Oblivion, Inner Earth, and the Healing Waters cards, our first message begins with Oblivion, open your arms. This card asks you to surrender, to release control and create space for renewal. In neuroscience, surrender mirrors a shift from hypervigilance to safety. So when you soften your grip on the control, the amygdala, which is our brain's threat detector, begins to quiet. The prefrontal cortex, which supports calm, focus, and decision-making, can make them come back online. This allows your vagus nerve, which is the communication bridge between your brain and body, to signal safety through slower breathing and a relaxed heart rate. The second card, Inner Earth, reminds us that stillness is not stagnation. In the still space after surrender, the brain begins to reorganize through neuroplasticity, the creation of new neural connections. This is how insight becomes integration. Finally, the Healing Waters offers restoration. When you rest and feel safe, your body enters the parasympathetic state, where emotional repair and physical healing occur. Here's a reflection. Where can you open your arms and let go of control this week? What new roots are quietly forming beneath the surface? Group 2, Serendipity, Anunnaki light codes, and the water carrier. This second group begins with serendipity, the experience of meaningful coincidence. Carl Jung called this synchronicity. Neuroscience calls it attentional alignment. The reticular activating system, also known as the RAS, located near the base of your brain, filters billions of sensory inputs every second. It highlights what matches your emotional state and intentions. When you focus on possibility, your brain literally tunes itself to notice opportunity. What we call luck is often the brain's way of reflecting back the patterns you're ready to see. The next card, Anunnaki light codes, represents awakening through knowledge, the neural and energetic upgrades that happen when we learn or heal. This is neuroplasticity again. Every repetition of positive thought, every new insight lays down stronger neural pathways. And finally, the water carrier flows in as a reminder that wisdom grows when shared. Acts of compassion activate the vagus nerve, releasing neurotransmitters that calm stress and foster connection. When you give from presence, your own nervous system feels safer too. Here's a reflection. What coincidences are catching your attention? What new light codes, for example, insights or habits, are forming in your brain? How can you pour that clarity outward, knowing it refills your own cup? Group 3, Firgun, Order of Melchizedek, Deep Sea Diving. The final group begins with Firgun, a Hebrew word meaning sincere joy for another's happiness. This feeling of shared joy activates your dopamine system, which is the brain's reward network, and lights up mirror neurons, which allow you to feel empathy and connection. When you celebrate someone else's success, your brain experiences it as your own. This is also known as neurosynchrony, the physiology of compassion. Order of Melchizedek represents wisdom through service. Jung might call this the wise old self, the archetype that rises when the ego surrenders to higher purpose. Neuroscientifically, it reflects integration, harmony between your prefrontal cortex, which is your rational mind, and the limbic system, which is your emotional core. When these regions cooperate, you experience clarity and coherence. Deep sea diving invites you to go inward. This depth work engages the insula, the brain's interoceptive center, the area that translates sensations like heartbeat, breath, and emotion into conscious awareness. Facing emotions with curiosity strengthens emotion intelligence and rewires your stress responses. Here's a reflection. Where can you practice Firgun? Genuine joy for another. How can humble service bring your mind and heart into harmony? What feelings beneath the surface are ready for you to explore with gentle awareness? As these reflections settle, take a breath. Notice the rhythm of your body, the pulse, the stillness, the subtle current of thought. This is your nervous system learning safety through awareness. Your brain and your soul are not separate. They're partners in transformation. Every symbol you contemplate, every breath you take with presence, reshapes the architecture of your mind towards peace, compassion, and connection. Thank you for joining this collective reflection. Until next time, stay curious, stay kind to your nervous system, and keep listening, not just with your mind, but with your whole being.